And I need my water and my paper towels.
Yeah.
Perfect. Hi, Magdalene.
Yeah, no, I don't see you. I just see your picture.
Yeah. I'm getting back to it. It pops up. There we go.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Very
Oh
good.
yeah. It gives me another window. Hi guys. Hi mates. Hi you guys. You guys hearing our conversation?
Okay, there you go. Super excited to start.
Yeah, let's see what we do.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes, I love it. I love looking at all the pictures. I'm hoping that over the summer I get to put everybody's pictures together in this huge collage, and then we just have it like rolling through the website.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I'm also hoping that maybe next in the fall that we could do an art show display.
Oh, that'd be lovely. Yeah, because
wouldn't that be fun?
Yes, I've got all of my paintings. So.
Oh, there's so many of them. What's up?
Yes. That'd be so cool.
I'm gonna go grab my water and my paper towels. This is the things that I forgot.
I told them I was going to send the link to the Patronus quiz because not everyone there had done the Patronus quiz. So
I love the Patronus quiz. It's so great. It's like
like for this you have to know what your Patronus is.
I don't know mine, guys, but
I'll send you the link so you can do it. It's really fun.
That's what I've heard. I was just talking to Dana about it, and she said, yeah, because I asked her, I said, how did you find out who your Patronus was? And so she said, well, you just go to Wizarding World and follow the links.
Yeah, I just sent the link. So if you see in the chat, there's a link there.
Okay.
It takes like 5 minutes, but maybe we don't have time. But just something to do afterwards. Even it's really fun.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Yeah, of course.
That's what we're here for.
And you're drinking Coors, and why are you drinking Coors?
Oh, you weren't supposed to see that.
That's what you leave out of the frame. See, this is what you do. You're in frame, and then you leave out of frame. You take your sip, and then you leave back in frame.
No,
Is that what
she's
you're
on the
supposed
same
to
page.
do?
She's on the same page.
I didn't know the rules.
No rules. No rules.
It's Friday and it's after 5. I can do whatever I want. I'm over 21.
Yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
As long as it's legal.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever you say.
Hi, Mary. How are you?
I made it.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's been a minute.
Yeah, my stuff.
Yeah. I completely forgot half of it. We'll give everybody another 10 minutes to see if anybody else shows.
Okay, let me write that link.
Make sure this is playing good. Okay. It's like, oh, you can see the back of my head. Okay. Anybody knows the theme?
Okay. All right. Here I am.
Awesome. Yes, we're going to give about another 7 minutes and see how that if anybody else walks in. We have.
Okay, yeah, finish my drink before I start dipping my toothbrush in it.
Yeah, don't get confused.
I know it, you know?
That's no fun.
No.
I remember the first canvas and cocktails that we had like probably 6 people do. They're like, oh no. And they're just like, it's
Gonna hurt you.
another drink. It's one of those things. It's right there next to your table. You got 2 cups and yeah.
Right, yeah.
They're
Mhm.
both different colors. Mine usually are bright green.
Yeah, and it really doesn't help. I was thinking, oh, well, a lot of times at these paint and drink things, you know, maybe you're having a pink drink or something, but you know, your water turns pink, so it's
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's mine. I do mixed cocktails all the time, so mine are usually like bright orange or bright green. So like it's not good when you're doing this type of stuff.
Well, this is a non-alcoholic cocktail. I bought this stuff. It's made in England. It's called Pentire Adrift, and it's a herbal concoction that you mix with mixers, and it has. I mean, you wouldn't mistake it for alcohol, you know, but it's not bad. It's a sort of a refreshing drink that's not sweet, and it's interesting.
Fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I get a lot of alcohol for Christmas and birthdays and stuff, and I have a very big collection, but I am not one of those people who's going to make myself a drink.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, one of my friends in high school, his father received much alcohol for, you know, Christmas and holidays, and he was a non-drinker, so he would just store it in his attic. So that was really good for us.
Yeah, or give it away as gifts. You know, you could give it to people.
He
who
never
don't
missed
know that
it,
you
you
have
know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, who knows if those bottles didn't rotate through?
that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, we had a white elephant gift up in Denver where I lived for several years, and it was a bottle of, it was this ghastly, some type of sweet stuff. It was almost a Magna. It was a huge bottle, and nobody drank that kind of alcohol, and so we just kept passing it around year after year after year. And you decorate it very gaudily and make it look so brilliant, and put it in boxes and stuff so people wouldn't know what they were getting. They'd open it up and sure it was their gift for that year, you know. But that was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
It's like a trophy that gets rotated.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
pass the trophy. It's your turn this time. Give it to somebody else next year. That was a lot of fun.
That's fun. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right.
No, don't get up. Don't get excited.
She won out.
Yeah, right.
Your little pup, so cute, Mary. She's a doll.
What?
Your puppy.
Oh, did you see her?
Well, she used to come and visit all the time.
Well, that's true. She's getting pretty old these days.
Yeah, the stairs.
But,
The stairs
she's still, there she is.
Well, there she is. All
And-
right.
And so she'll lay down next to me, but then if I get up, she jumps up and I'm like, I'm just going to get, a piece of newspaper to put on the table and, sit down.
Oh, I loved it how she used to, tap the bell to get in and out.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, she still does that, only more so because she's bored.
Yeah, I did. It's too cute.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we could get started.
Okay.
Okay.
So, welcome everybody. Everybody else. I know you guys have just been sitting here listening to us jibber jabber, but welcome to another Dana's Delights. This is a nonprofit community outreach program that we started during COVID. We have a lot of fun. We try to do a monthly painting party online on Zoom, interactive, of course, and on YouTube. So we stream this live to YouTube. Just keep that in mind if you're on here, that you might end up finding yourself on YouTube. So if you feel like it, you can keep those cameras off. Not a problem. But it's a blast. We really have a great time doing this, and I'm so glad that you guys have joined us. If you guys have any ideas for paintings, let me know, because I am open to everything. So this month's painting, if you haven't heard or are not aware, is called the Forest of Dean. Forest of Dean, of course, is Harry Potter theme. So if you guys don't know this or realize this, this is the 20th anniversary of the Harry Potter movies.
Oh my goodness. 20
So
years.
Wow.
20 years.
It's hard to believe.
Been a while. And so in celebration of that, I wanted to do something wintry and Harry Pottery. So we're going to do the stag Patronus in the forest. If you have never watched Harry Potter, I recommend it, highly recommend it. And let's get started. First thing you're going to need, of course, your canvas. You can do it on your table, or if you have an easel, awesome. You also want a couple of brushes. I have a whole mess of brushes here, but really you pretty much only need like a big one, a medium size, and a small one for details. That's it. You don't have to get complicated. You can get complicated if you want to. You don't have to. We're going to stick with a color scheme on this one, just because it's a themed painting. I know that I've told you guys in the past, if you usually hear every month, that you can make it whatever color you want, and you still can. But if you got a packet from me, I stuck with the color theme, just because this is a real special painting. I'm a huge Potterhead, so I'm really excited about this painting. If any of you have come to my office, right up here, I have the sorting hat. So I'll pull that out later and show you guys. But yeah, so this is going to be a beautiful blue, white, and black painting. So you've got your 4 colors. We've got blue, turquoise, black, and white. So these are the paints that we're going to be using. You can, if you have other paints, feel free, mix them up, and have a good time. I love watching it and love seeing you guys create stuff, because everybody's comes out unique. It's so much fun. All right, let's get started with a painting. Make sure you have water. Okay, there we go. Make sure you have your water for cleaning your brushes, and paper towels, just in case. You don't want things to get messy. If you want to protect your surface, put down some newspaper like Mary said. And here we go. All right. So like with all of our paintings, we are going to start with our background. Our background is going to be nice and dark. So we are going to put down our black base first. And I'm going to angle you guys over so you can see just my canvas. All right. There we go. I've already sketched it out just to make it a little bit easier. But right now, I'm going to grab my large brush. This can either just be a wide inch brush like this, or if you have a sponge, you can use a sponge brush. They all work. I'm dabbing it in a little bit of water. And then I'm going to grab some black. And I'm going to start light on the black because black we can't take back. So I'm going to, I have a little palette board where I'm just going to kind of get a little bit of that excess paint off of my brush. And I'm going to kind of start swirling it in a circle. You see that nice circle? The center of my circle is a little off center of my canvas, if you notice that. Pull it back just a little bit. There you go. So my circle's a little off center. And I'm just going to start there. And just making big circles. Circle, circle, circles. I'm just going to keep doing that and put down a light gray base. So it's just black that's watered down. I'm just going to kind of just get rid of all that white and just turn it kind of like a snowy, dusty gray. A little more black, a little more water. I just want to fill in all that white. Now, if you are more familiar with painting and you gessoed your board, that's awesome. If you got your packet from our office, it's not going to be gessoed, so it's okay. It's just going to take a little more paint to black out that white. So I've gone about halfway, and that's as far as I'm going to go. It's halfway. So all of this we're going to angle downward. So my circle's just going to be up in the sky. From there, I'm going to grab my blue and I'm going to mix it with some black. Black's trying to get away from me. So I'm mixing this. You can see, and it's coming out nice and dark. Almost like a midnight blue. So it looks like it's almost black. I'm going to start out on the outside. Let me see if I can pin my screen. Okay. So let's see. If you have your sound on, if you can mute it, so that way on YouTube, it doesn't cut to the person talking or the sound. So if you have your sound on, do me a favor and hit that mute button. That'll make things easier on YouTube. Wait a second. I think I have somebody trying to get on and not able to. Here. Let me see what the Zoom address is. And hopefully she can get in there. It's somebody wanting to participate that could not get in, so hopefully that works. So we're just continuing and going around and making our circle darker and darker. You can grab some regular blue and whip it around there. I would say think Van Gogh. Nice colorful circle. With my blue, just regular blue, I'm going to pull it all the way out and get these two to mix on the canvas. They're still wet. So you're going to get that natural kind of flowy gradient going. See how dramatic that looks? It's just such a beautiful, dark, dramatic sky. And you can add more black if you wanted to, and which I'm going to do, is I want this to be nice and dramatic. It's out in the forest. Here you know, they're hiding from snatchers and this obscure forest in England. So add some black right there and just swipe it, and give you those dramatic lines. And you just keep swirling it until you feel comfortable with it, until it looks like what you want or how you're comfortable with. And once you get to that point, stop. You're just gonna keep on going. I've done that before too. I'm going to use the edge of my brush. I'm gonna put some more solid lines in here. So I'm just taking my brush, it's nice and flat, and I'm just going to swipe and make an actual line, a nice and solid circle. I'm not going to brush that away. I'm going to keep them there, nice sharp lines. Ooh, okay, so now looking at this, this is now reminding me of like Deep Space Nine and the the wormhole. Okay. My fandoms are colliding. That happens so often, actually. So I've got some really sharp black lines going on in there. And definitely, you know, give yourself a moment, step back, take a look at your painting. It's kind of hard to see exactly what it looks like when you're up close and personal. If you take a few steps back, you'll really get the feel of what you actually put down on canvas. Then you get a little bit of my blue. I'm just putting it on the tip of my brush. I haven't cleaned my brush at all. So it's completely saturated right now with a whole bunch of black and blue. And I'm just going to kind of put some blue swipes in here. A little bit of blue swipes. I'm going to take my turquoise, or if you're mixing colors at home on your own, mix some light, some white and some blue. To give you a lighter color, just for a little dramatic effect here. I'm going to put that right in there. And let this kind of blend together. And I'm happy with this. So I'm going to stop before I ruin it. And I'm going to let it dry a little bit. And you can like this right there. Yeah, okay, that's it. I'm not touching anymore. I'm going to wash this. Well, actually, I'm not going to wash this brush off. So once you get here and you're comfortable, go ahead and stop. We're basically going to do the same thing down here. So we're going to have a nice dark hill. So I'm going to first put down a base of black for my hills. I'm going to have two hills, a hill going this way and then a hill going this way. So we're going to have a couple snowy hills. And I'm going to draw them out first. Just kind of sketch them out. So right at the edge of that, I'm just going to run this all the way across. So that's my first hill. My second hill, I'm going to take from the end and just kind of bring it on over. So they're going to be kind of intersecting, and that one's going to be like, it could be in front, it could be behind, doesn't really matter. So we've got two hills going on here, and a higher one and a little lower one. And then I'm just going to paint this all dark. So right now I have all the colors on my brush. So I have not cleaned my brush. So I'm getting this really cool, almost blue jean kind of distressed color going on here. Stonewash color. Dip it in water a little bit and spread this around. Make sure to get the bottom of your board. So right now you see they've kind of just meshed together, and so that really doesn't matter. Because right now what we're trying to do is get this whole bottom part one solid dark color. And then after that we'll add some more colors to it. I don't know. Let me get that out. I hope she got on okay. I hope everybody was able to get on okay. I think there's quite a few people here, so. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get black, and all this area underneath, that's still sky, but not my focal point. I'm just going to paint black. And I'm going to kind of go with the angle of my circle here. Now I haven't cleaned my brush, not once. So I'm just basically filling this in. I'm following the line of my mountains, my hills, I should say not mountains, and I'm following the line of my little sky vortex here that I've got. It's just like coloring, but with a brush. Paint. So I got all of this dark now. I am going to really go at this solid black and really try to fill in all this light space. So I'm laying down a thick layer, as you can see. here. So if anybody has any questions and you're watching on YouTube, you can let me know. I actually have it up right now. So I can see your questions. I can see the chat. You just make this nice and solid, or as solid as you can. We are going to be layering stuff on top of this, so it's okay if it's not quite as solid as you need to be. All the white space will get covered. I think our top's almost dry too. Yeah. Perfect. So for here, I'm going to throw in, like I said, I haven't cleaned my brush yet. I'm going to dip it in water, a little bit of water. And I am going to grab some blue. And I'm going to let these two, the black and the blue, just mush and mix on my brush. And then mushing and mixing. Okay, a little more blue. I'm going to try to get these to blend a little bit closer. Drag that up into my circle. Here we go. Got your dark blue sky. Not too shabby. I'm going to go through here and finish up some of these. I got some white spots going on. And then I'm going to let this part dry. So once you're done with that, we will move on. I just want to double check and see how everybody's doing. All right. So I'm gonna wash this off now, finally. And I'm gonna set my nice big brush aside. So next I want to do I'm going to do my little star in the middle. So that way I can use that as my measuring point. So I'm going to find a nice thin flat brush if you have one. Oh, that's pretty good. And I wet it a little bit. So this is my, if anybody's curious, it's like a 6mm. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so it's nice and thin. It's a flat head brush. And I'm just going to dip it in the white. So I got my white. And I'm just really just dipping the end of the brush in so I don't have too much paint on there. Tap it off if you need to. And I'm just going to find the middle of my little vortex circle here. And I am going to tap, 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 and make a line. That's all I'm doing right now is tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Just make a line. Okay, yeah. Now I'm getting Lord of the Rings vibes. Okay. Then I'm gonna turn it into a T. So I'm gonna go across and tap, 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 same thing. This does not have to be perfect. Your line could be nice and wiggly. Does not matter. It can be swirly if you want to go that way too. Then I'm going to make an X in the middle of my T. Another trick that I always tell everybody is put your pinky down. Well, first make sure you don't have any paint on your pinky. You put it down. That's going to keep your hand from getting a little wonky. Keeps you nice and balanced. Tap, tap, tap. I have my pretty little star. I think I want the top of the T and the bottom to be a little bit longer. Me personally. So just, and then if you want to add a few extra little wisps of light, you can just like lightly brush in the middle and just keep making a bunch of little lights. Just like that. You can even kind of soften that and give it another little, like a reflective glow going on here. There you go. And there you got a star. Nice, easy peasy. And just for kicks, because I still have some white on here, I'm going to kind of brush that on here and give my star a little bit of a glow. It's lighting up the night sky. Yeah. Swoosh. Whoosh. Nice and simple. Couple wishes. And it makes all the difference. Perfect. All right. So like I said, we are going to use this as our point. We're just going to go all the way straight down. And this is where we are going to put our dear Patronus. So if you're a huge Harry Potter fan and you know your Patronus, you don't have to do the stag. If you're a huge Harry Potter fan and you know that in the Forest of Dean, it's not the stag, but it's the doe, don't get mad at me. It's Harry Potter. It's the stag is his Patronus. I know it's not canon, but it's all kind of in the same family. So it's supposed to be Snape's Patronus, but we're gonna do Harry's. Okay, so we're gonna continue on with the white, and we're gonna do our little stag. So if you are solid, you're good, and you got this, go ahead and make your stag or your Patronus or whatever you want to do. I'm going to walk everybody through step by step. So right underneath my star, I'm going to start. I'm going to kind of do an angled bean, if you will, an angled bean shape. So it's just like a really long oval. Red pill, blue pill, the pill shape. That's kind of like falling off the side of the mountain. That's his little body. Then I'm going to make a square or rectangle, if you will, on top of my bean. So let me pull in a little bit more. Okay. There we go. So I've got my pill here. I've got my rectangle. That's just a straight up rectangle. Nothing special. Then I'm going to just make a line right there. And I'm going to make another line next to that, but I'm going to angle it just a tiny, tiny bit. So you see, it's very tiny. It's a very small angle. Okay. Now the back, we are going to cut in. So right from the back of the bean, we're going to angle towards the front legs, right? Then we are going to take it out, and you're just going to tap your brush. Just one square tap, that's it. Tap it out. Then from there, we're going to go down. Tap it out and go down. So you get that angle shape of the back legs. All right. And that's the hardest part. Then we're going to make another line that's going to kind of give you a little V shape. And then we're just going to connect this line to the body. And you've made the body of your duck or stag or Patronus. All right. So for the head, I'm going to switch my brush out and get my smaller detailed brush. So go ahead and clean that one off. Just so that way it doesn't get hard and crusty. And get yourself a nice detailed brush. So I'm using a 00. Mine is a really small 00 brush. I'm trying to figure out where the camera is at. See, mine's nice and small. Tight tip. If you use this little flare, just pinch and twist. So you want to pinch the brush, twist it at the same time, and pull it down. And you'll end up having your tip. Because if you got some from us, there's a couple that are a little fluffy. So just wet it a little bit, pinch and twist. So I am going to dip it in some white. And I'm going to do the ears. So they're going to come out of the side of the rectangle, okay? And they're just going to be 2 little circles. See, it's tiny little circles. That's all it is. A tiny little circle. Kind of ovally. Just like that. So this just, it's like a millimeter off of the top of the rectangle. So you got it. You can see that. Yeah. Just like that. The fun part now, we are going to do the antlers. So I'm going to start by putting 2 little lines right here, like that. Then I'm going to go out. And you can make these as big as you want them to be. I mean, he can have these huge 18-point antlers if you feel like it. But however big you want his antlers to be, go for it. And then I'm just going to kind of follow that curve down. And just make little backward C's. I'm going to do that again on this side. I'm going to twist, dip, and then from here, I'm going to come out and up. Just like that. Then I'm going to make a C and match the curve that I made with that first antler. And then add another one. And add my last one. Last but not least, his cute little tail. And you can make the tail go up, make it stick out. I'm just going to kind of let mine hang down. And let's make another little like circle bean shape right there. And I'll fill this in just a little bit more. in those areas that feel like they are not white enough. Use my detail brush so that way I don't make any bad mistakes by putting too much paint down. So I'm just filling it in. It's like if it was a coloring book, just filling it in. Just make it nice and bright. Now, because my light is coming straight down, and yes, Patronuses are all light, but I'm going to leave his little belly kind of dark. So I'm not going to go over that part just because it gives him a little bit more dimension, a little more shadowing, and it's just like natural. It's not something I actually have to put in with paint. It just happened to be there. That's always nice. It just happens to be there. Oh. All right. We're looking good. So next, we're going to add our forest. And I'm going to pull out here so we can get, there we go. Let me see that. That's right, there's better. Okay. So I'm going to add a couple trees here and a couple trees here. And to do that, I am going to get that medium brush that I was using. So the medium flat brush, it's a 6mm that I have going on here. I'm going to wet a little bit. And I am going to use my turquoise. So it's wet, it's a little wet. I'm dabbing off the excess. And I want this tree to be almost as tall as my stars. So I'm going to use the second, the T, the cross of the T, and I'm going to start the tip of my tree right there. And I'm just going to bring this line all the way down to my hill. And stop when I get there. Nice straight line. Once you have your line, then we're just going to angle down and bring our brush straight down. At the base. I'm going to fan out a little more. That's pretty much how you do it. So you're just bringing your brush down and going out at the last minute. Down and out, down and out. And more paint is needed. I'm going to soften up the sides. And this is just like a nice, tall evergreen moonlight. I want a couple more trees in this on this side to make it just, really, really add the trees and make it very foresty. What I'm going to do is mix some of my turquoise and some of my blue. Not a lot of my blue, because it's a strong color. And just give myself a slightly different color. So I'm going to bring this down, straight down. So you can see this blue is just a little bit different. If you can see that. And this one's this tree is going to be going off the edge of my painting. So one side I'm just going to color in completely with an angle at the top. And the other side, I'm going to actually fluff out those branches towards the side. A little more. Whoosh, whoosh, whooshing. That's my favorite technical term, is whoosh. So I've got a little bit of dimension with the different colors. I'm going to take that color that I just made. I'm going to add some white to it. Give myself this really, really light, almost white blue. It's Jack Frost color. And I'm going to go right in front of these trees. So I put these two trees down. I'm going to make a smaller tree that's right in front. And it's almost an ice blue right now. I'm just going to wish this down too. So the bottoms are kind of flat. I'm just brushing, 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 brushing. And I'm not going to worry too much about this being solid because, of course, trees. Most of the time you can see through them, through their branches. So you got 3 different color trees going on here. And of course, like I said, they're coming off the edge. Give you that little extra dimension. Yee. So on the other hill, move you other side. on the other hill, I'm going to use this darker blue that I mixed with the turquoise and the blue. And I'm going to add a couple trees way back here. So I've got my hill, and I'm just going to add them to this point. They're not very big trees. They're going to be small trees. There are background trees. So 2 small ones, like you can see, that almost this tree is almost aligned with his antler. So I'm just gonna brush this down, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Make cute little spikes. And if you notice, you look at my paintings, you'll notice that one side is always a little bit more polished than the other. I don't know what that is. I always have an easier time on my left than on my right, angle wise. That goes for everything I do, but I'm right-handed. So yeah, I don't know. Is this a weird quirk? So I've got one tree going on here. And I need to mix a little more of the turquoise and the blue. I'm going to grab those colors and mix it together. And I'm just going to make this other tree in the back. The trees are a little thick, if that's okay. So we're making them that darker blue to kind of give the illusion of them being in shadow. All right. Excellent. So I am going to wash the blue off of this brush. And now I'm going to grab a bigger brush that I have. It's not going to be the giant 1-inch, but if that's what you got, that's what you got. This one's a 5/8, and it's an angled brush. So this is what I'm using. And I'm going to add a little bit of dimension to our hills before I paint my 2 white big trees. So I am going to grab some blue. I'm going to wet my brush, especially this one, different type of hair. And I'm just going to grab some blue, straight blue. And I'm going to kind of just streak this here and kind of brush it out. You want to think the star is really bright and it's kind of hitting on this snow, even though this is black. We're doing this beautiful silhouette with our gleaming Patronus. But we've got some light we're playing with here. So we're just going to brush that over like that. You can see, there you go. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this hill. So I'm just going to take my blue, follow the hill a little bit, and just give it a little bit of highlight with my blue. And the highlights don't have to be particular. Just look at your picture and say, you know, where would the light hit it? Where does the moonlight hit when you're walking out in the yard at night? So we've got the blue down. I'm going to get some turquoise and I'm going to do the same thing. So I got my turquoise and I'm just going to brush a little bit. You still got the black underneath. And if you feel like it's too much turquoise or too much color you've got going on there, which I think I did here, just wet your brush and kind of mix them together. You can re-add the black if you need to. But I'm really just focusing on this hill right here. Just because this back hill is going to kind of disappear behind our trees. So I'm wetting my brush. The great thing about acrylics, a little bit of water will do you. So they blend really wonderfully. There you go. I'm going to soften this up here. I'm going to come in with a little bit of black. And soften this up. So I'm adding a couple of little hills right in the middle, going in the opposite direction. If you can see that, just to give my landscape a little more dimension. And I'm just using the paint that I've got on there and water to kind of break those up. So this hill's going this way, and then I'm bringing it back over here and kind of breaking that up. You can probably see that pretty good on the screen. Yeah, there you go. You can totally see that. And all that is just the paint that I had on here and water. And you get this really beautiful mix of colors. Got all those blues and that black, and it just makes it great. And pull this in more. So the more I pull on this color, the more the black background comes forward. If you guys notice that. So I'm basically picking up that color with my wet brush and kind of brushing it out of the way. And my background just comes up to the corner. To my base color. You know, I like that. I think I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. Like I said, when you like it, step away a little bit and make sure to stop, because it's so easy to get carried away. Now I'm gonna wash this brush off really good. And I'm gonna make sure I squeegee all the color out of it with this angle brush. And I am going to start on my big trees. So for my big tree, I am going to use my white. And I'm going to put it right on the tip. And you can see I pinched it so it's nice and flat. I'm gonna make a couple lines just like we've been doing. So my big tree, I want almost as tall as my star. So I'm just going to make a nice big line. And I'm using my pinky. Doesn't have to be straight. But it's a huge tree. I'm pulling that baby all the way down. So that is a big tree. So it's going all the way past the end of my back hill, the hill that I have towards the back. Then I'm going to do another one, and this tree I'm going to make just a little bit taller than my stag's antlers, and I'm leaving room right in the middle so that way I can see my other trees. And this one I'm just going to be bringing down. I'm posting with my pinky so my line is fairly straight, and they're just about even right there. Let me know if I'm going too fast for anybody or if I need to go back. Okay. And now I'm just going to add my branches. Because these are in front, this one's going to be a little more skeletal. So I'm going to leave a little bit of room in between. Let me get this just a little bit more. So I'm going to go out. I'm going to swish and swish and then swish, swish. I'm filling it in, but I'm still swishing outward, and I'm leaving a little bit of space. I'm doing this dry brush, and I'm just making sure that the tip of my brush is nice and sharp. If you hear somebody talking in the background, that's my honey. He's He's being entertained. And so this tree I've left nice and kind of spiky as opposed to fluffy like our other ones. And the sole purpose for that is because we've got those pretty trees behind it. And I want to be able to see my trees in the background just a little bit. It's not like they really have to be present. If you want to cover them up, go for it. Go for it. And now I'm going to do the big one. And I'm doing, like I said, dry brush. That's why it's giving me this kind of shadowy look and it's not so solid. And I'm switching every once in a while. I'm going from pulling down to pulling up just to give my branches a little bit of a different look. The spikiness hits a little bit differently when you swoop down as opposed to swooping up. And then of course this one, I'm letting it kind of branch out off the side of the canvas. And bringing it down. Kind of flatten out that bottom. So you can see they're a little spiky. I'm going to add another spiky one right here. Just another white one. And I'm probably going to go about right towards the end of that pretty blue one in the back, the pretty turquoise one. And I'm going to bring it all the way down and stop right there. Maybe go just a tad lower, right in the middle, right in the middle of that hill. And I'm going to spike this one out too. And it's going to be a little more skeleton-y than the ones in the background. And then once you get towards the bottom, just kind of fan it out. And then curve. Just like that. All right. Looking good, looking good. So I've got a little bit of white on my brush still. So I'm going to kind of just make a little snow mound. So right where my trees are. I'm gonna kind of give them like a little mound of snow and highlight that just a little bit. You can see that. Kind of like there's little piles of snow here and there. Give those hills a little extra gleam. Yeah. All right. All right. So now we're almost done. We're gonna add a couple little highlights. So like our Patronus, of course, we want him to glow with his beautiful happy thoughts. So I dipped my little detail brush in water. And then I got some of the turquoise. And so it's really, I mean, it's really watery. And I am just going to kind of outline him here and there. You see that? This is going to be a little tiny glow. I'm going to kind of tap it with my finger. So that way it's not too prevalent. Kind of smudging it away. But when you look close at it, you'll see that he's got a glowing essence around him. And I'll pull in really quick so you can take a look at what I'm doing exactly. So Patronuses glow, and they're made up of happy thoughts. So what I'm doing, I'm kind of outlining him with this beautiful turquoise color, right? And then I'm just dabbing it with my finger, kind of soften it up. So you can see that it's giving him this like glowy look. Like I said, this is a lot of water and turquoise. It's almost like a wash. And so I'm just going around him. Ooh, that's a little too much. More water. So I'm just kind of outlining him. He's supposed to be this beautiful beacon of light. And I am tapping it with my finger to kind of break up a little smudging it. I don't want this line to be defined at all. I'm going to go around the antlers and do the same thing. So it's a very subtle detail, but any Harry Potter fan will definitely appreciate it. Luciana's glowing. No. Perfect. All right. Now, really, all that's left is to add some snow. So you can do individual snowflakes if you want and make them beautiful little works of individual icy art. That's up to you. I'm going to just do some fluffy balls of snow. So I'm getting my tiny detail brush first, and I'm just gonna kind of, let me zoom out. It's easier like that. I'm just going to start by kind of just dotting everywhere. I've got my small brush. So you can dot in the trees, of course the grass, the snow's falling everywhere. And like I said, first I'm using my tiny one, my tiny brush. And then I'm going to switch over to one of my bigger brushes. Just a little bit bigger. It's just, like I said, tiny bit bigger. I think this is an 01. And I'm going to add some bigger ones. And you can add as much snow as you want. It's up to you. But pretty much we are done. This one was actually pretty easy. And make sure to sign your work. Let everybody know that you made this awesome, awesome picture. Yay! Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Well, thank you, Dana. That was really fun.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, that's very
I love that. I love that. That's beautiful. Yes. Oh my gosh. Like, this is like one of my favorites. I love this. This is gorgeous.
Yeah, this was fun. This is very enjoyable.
Thank you, Rough Crowd.
Bye-bye. See ya.
Bye. We'll see you guys. Mason, yeah.
Pretty cool. I didn't get the trees very well, but that's okay.
AJ. Oh, look. Oh, I love that one. Oh my gosh. That one is very dramatic.
I didn't see that one.
It's really, really blue and beautiful.
Is it? Oh,
Oh yeah, okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Here's mine.
oh, I love that. Oh, I love
Just
his
need to
outline.
turn your cameras on so we can see you.
Oh, it's right here.
There we go. Oh, that's
Magdalene.
very cool.
I
Oh, yeah.
I had trouble with my Patronus, but you know, it's as good as it gets.
It all works. It all works.
I love kitties. So yeah, no, that's perfect.
My Patronus is a magpie, so I just went with the deer.
Okay. Nice. Oh yeah. Now mine's a
job,
white
guys.
swan, and I was like, swans are not. I mean, I guess they could be beautiful, but I work by the pond, so I have been attacked by geese so many times trying to get to my office that I no longer have love for fowl.
Understandable.
Right? If
Oh.
you've been attacked, you know.
Yeah, that's a no. Well, thank you again, and we'll
thanks,
see you
Tina.
guys next time.
Thank you. We'll see you guys next time. If you have any ideas for the February one, let me know. Thank you, Isabel. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Dana.
Thank
Have a
you,
good week.
Marianne.
Have a good weekend.
You too. I will see you guys later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.